Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or older in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
All right. Well, welcome to this week's episode of Stay Off My Lawn. It's August 18th, 2026, and episode 176. Or as the kids call it, 176. I mean, somebody says it.
100. It's 100.
100. Yeah.
176. Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time I hear the disclaimer, there's something that I go, but don't use as directed. Yeah, you know, like for those of you who need to have the instructions on a shampoo bottle.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And or on a toaster box, do not use while bathing. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of toasters, when we bought our new one, because the other one was 30-some years old, it finally was giving up the ghost. We got a new one. It's nice. It's not a no-touch toaster. You know, some of those are a cool touch.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And I read the reviews on stuff. Those ones I just throw out when some lady goes, "This thing is so hot, I burned my hand 3 times on it." I'm going, it took you 3 times to figure
didn't you
that
learn
out?
the first time?
It's
That's
like
the society we live in now.
you just had hot coils toasting your bread, and then you get a hold of it. No.
Wow.
I laughed at that. It was what? I'm going, I just can't. This is just.
It's incredible. It just.
Okay.
But that is kind of how Americans are anymore. We're just so.
That's right. It's for people
I don't want
like
to
that.
include us in this, but we're just so dumb.
Yes.
I mean, goodness.
Well, we laugh at ourselves, especially if we've done something stupid, and you go, "Why did I?" Oh well, that's age stuff. When you go, truck over to the refrigerator, open that door, and go, "Well, I obviously came over here for a purpose," and I'm looking in the fridge and go, "I opened this. Why?" And then I hear from behind me, "You were gonna get out the bacon grease." Oh yeah, that's right. I'm frying up some eggs.
The only room you can walk into and remember why you went in there was the bathroom. That's the only thing I can think of that you don't forget why you're in there. So.
Yeah, because if you do, then there's other issues.
Oh yeah. That's why they have adult diapers.
Well, you know, if you forget, then you don't have to worry about it.
That's how we make it through the show, be honest with you. Sit here for an hour with our old prostates.
That's right. And with 2 coffee and water.
I've drank
Don't have any
coffee
tea.
and I'm about halfway done with this. And I had orange and yeah. Anyway, we're going to start off the show with Donald Trump made an announcement earlier today at 9:30 this morning.
Breaking news.
He said there are no talks or conversations going on. He sounds very frustrated. Or scheduled with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval blockade remains in full force and effect. The Hormuz Strait is open and operating. All water mines have been removed or detonated. Thank you for your attention to this matter, which he ends a lot of his truths on Truth Social with that phrase. So I think he's frustrated with the leadership over there in Iran, or the lack thereof. You know, I just wish it would end, because I think that the midterms are toast if we continue with $4 an hour or $4 a gallon gas, which around here I think it's like $3.49 right now. But I know
about $1 more than you.
Yeah, the rest of the country is not that fortunate. A lot of times, you know, here in the Southeast, we're always cheaper than the rest of the country, I believe.
And our gas for the Treasure Valley area, I mean, yeah, it gets trucked to the different stations, but it doesn't get trucked up here from the refinery that's in Utah. There's a pipeline. It comes all the way up for a pipeline, and they still charge us for transportation on it.
Which taxes are on your per gallon? Do you know?
I don't know. When it was low, the last time around, which would have been 2020, it was pretty low. They tacked on another 6-8 cents.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh, it's low. They won't notice if we jack it up.
I really believe that's how they think about things too. I
Oh,
really do.
heck yes.
Anyway, it's primary day again this week. Alaska has a Senate and House race. California has a House seat special election.
Uh,
Florida has two House seats, and I forgot what districts they were, but I heard an interview with one of the guys on there. Florida is pretty much bagged up for Republicans anyway. I mean, it's probably the reddest state in the country right now, next to Wyoming.
well, the
Um,
Republicans, you've got, who is, somebody's running against the other guy. Oh, my Lord, his name just went out of my head.
Somebody's
It's
running
not.
against the other guy. I mean, could we be more vague?
I told you this is not going well. We've been doing this
Byron
all
Donald.
morning already, and we're falling on our face, folks. So just get over it. Keep
We're,
watching.
we're not really big on polling. Polling is normally has been proven to be so wrong. But
Is it Tim Scott? That's Byron Donalds is
Byron
running
Donald
in.
is running for governor.
Right,
He's
and the
given up
gentleman
his
against him. That's the only one that
yeah,
they're going. They don't think it's going to be close. They think it's going to be Byron Donald. So
yeah, and I can't remember the guy's name either. It's the
I
other guy,
just
the
saw
guy
it
that went
last.
against. But yeah, but the polling shows that Byron's all over it. I've read a lot of things lately where some people are not happy with Byron, and the guy who's running against is a Army veteran, I think it is, and he's got a really good background.
Mhm.
Byron has had his issues when he was younger. I mean, but haven't we all? I really have a hard time holding anything somebody did in their 20s against them when they're in their 40s and 50s. I have a hard time with that. So that's what I'm saying. I totally agree. If I had conjured up, if I started listing off some of the stuff I did in my early 20s, you'd be like going, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. So
And when people say, "Don't you want to relive? Wouldn't you want to go back to your 20s?"
no,
No, I lived them once. That's enough. I'm moving on. I'm looking
I
this
made it.
way.
Yeah, I made enough mistakes for the. I would like to go and undo some. I would like to go and not walk up and talk to the girl that I talked to because it ended up being years of heartache. But anyway,
You poor thing.
Florida has a lot of things going on. Lieutenant governor, attorney general, all those primaries are going on today. Wyoming, our friend Harriet Hagman is running for Senate. No declared Democrat is running against her. So
They
polling
all
is
went,
looking good so far.
"It's Harriet." Yeah,
And
this
of
is
course, I think they only have one House seat in the state of Wyoming, right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
she's moving on from that. I don't know who's running.
I didn't.
I've not heard much about that, but
I haven't either.
the House is losing a really good person because they referred to her in different meetings and things that they did when it came to a constitutional thing. They would refer to Harriet because she was a constitutional lawyer.
Yeah.
She knows it inside and out. And when she speaks, it's not, well, it could, I might, and then you go back and look and go, that's not, no. I
Right.
have never looked up anything after she spoke about it, was dead on every time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No, there's very few senators or Congress people that I have that much trust in, but she does. She has
Hmm.
earned our trust,
Yes,
and almost everything.
100%.
I can't think of anything she said that I've even scratched my head to go. Even it felt like I had to look it up because everything she said, I believe, was absolutely accurate. I think Jim Jordan is one that, what he
Yeah,
says, I'm good with. There's not enough of those people. I
yeah.
mean,
The
we
Senate's
should.
going to get a good one. I mean, there's only 100 in there,
Yep.
and she is still going to stand out.
Yep.
So, and then we've
Um,
got Alaska. That's the only way I remembered. I happened to see it on. I was flipping through channels because there wasn't much of anything on. I was looking at how to put all the parts I bought for my lawn tractor to give it a good tune-up, and it was on kind of background noise. I just stopped on Fox. I don't know why it's what was there, and I looked up and they were talking about. I didn't hear anything else they said last night, but it was the states went. It was you could have drawn a straight line from Florida through Wyoming right to Alaska.
yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
But we still have a couple of more weeks of primaries. I think it ends up in September, but this is one of the big weeks this week with Florida being one of the big states that you know Democrats are saying they could flip it. I'm like, yeah, okay, you got a better chance of seeing God today than all that, I believe. But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, Wyoming also has their governor and secretary of state primaries too. So So if you live in any of those states, get out there and vote if you haven't already. Um, Thankfully, I think Georgia has some kind of special election next week. It's one of the House seats. Somebody died or
Oh,
something. So, uh,
somebody died or something. Whatever.
you know, people die. It's just the way it works.
I think they propped up Maxine Waters somewhere. All of a
And,
sudden, she doesn't exist. You
uh,
know what? She might be in the same place that our buddy from the Senate is.
trying to remember who you're talking about. Okay. Buddy
Mitch.
from- Oh, Mitch. Oh, yeah, yeah. They're weekend burning him. I guess he got released from the facility last
That's
week.
what they're saying. Ain't nobody saw him. And I love some of these guys. Well, I talked to him. Really. Somebody's
Yeah.
typing the answer back and
Going on for
AI
a
is
month.
saying it back.
Even our friend Scott Jennings said that he talked to him for 20 minutes. I'm like, what? But everybody talked to him for 20 minutes. What is it? What is it about 20 minutes and Mitch McConnell?
Because they don't have any more AI voice than that.
It just seems weird. You just don't
Just
know.
saying.
It's odd. It's
Why
odd.
we don't deal in
Mm-mm-mm.
theories or
No QAnon going on here. But I mean, uh, but when something doesn't look right, I mean, we say it.
no,
We called out during COVID. It didn't look right. Things didn't look right. And
the previous opinions are not those of anyone other than Mike and Mike. Oh, wait, I have to include myself, don't I?
That's right. That's right. All
Mike
of
and
us.
Richard.
How many of us are in the room right now with us? Well, there's Steve over there. I think
Yeah, but he does. Yeah. You have opinions too. That's okay. No, we're not going to turn the mic on for you.
he was eating a taco at 9 o'clock this morning. Can you believe that? I've never seen anything like it. Anyway, we need to probably move on from that. Mayor of Lawrence, Massachusetts, is in deep doo doo and uh, what do the kids call it? Hot water, spa treatment, something. Anyway, he was arrested and charged on the 14th with fraudulently. I should have practiced that word. Obtaining fraudulently. I think that's right. Obtaining over $1.5 million in COVID small business loans. And then, but wait, there's more. He used the proceeds to fund his campaign account, first of all. He paid personal taxes with it. And he also paid off over $880,000 in high interest, hard money mortgages. I don't know what hard money mortgages is. I never looked that up, but that's how the report came out. Anyway, this was all about the properties that he owned in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Apparently, he's doing pretty well for himself. He owns several properties that he paid off with that COVID loan, which those COVID
Really?
loans.
Well, wasn't that convenient?
And weren't those, if I remember correctly, those COVID loans were specifically to pay your employees when you had a small business to get them through the 15 days of slow the spread or whatever, how long they shut everything down. That's what it was
Yep.
meant for. And in those situations, you didn't have to pay them back. But
Right.
so many people went through and yeah. Anyway, his name is Brian DePena. DePena. His name, he's
Depending on
61.
whether he's going to be in the Hooskow or not.
Oh goodness, I think
3 hots and a cot.
yeah. Around here, it's bologna sandwich. It's not even a hot.
At the Gray Bar Hilton.
That's right. But he's been charged with one count of wire fraud and one count of money laundering. And of course, he's a Democrat. So, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. But I mean, it's nice to see the DOJ actually going after some of these people. There's a lot of that fraud going on. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I believe.
And they got more that they're checking into. And I love it when the president gives the vice president, you're going to be in charge of fraud. All of a sudden, things start happening, as opposed to our former border czar.
Border czar.
Yeah. It's like, I've been to the border. No, you haven't. You were close.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Well, even who was it that Lester Holt asked her? But you haven't been to the border. I haven't been to Europe either. Yeah, okay.
Really don't
Whatever
care,
you're
but
doing.
yeah, you did nothing. And they still want to trot her out to run again because it's going to be the same results. Just
But,
saying.
And that's where the Democrats, and we may have talked about this before, but the Democrats have decided that they're going to have their first primary in South Carolina, mostly because the black vote is going to turn out for Kamala, and really why they've seemingly because of that notion right there, you can assume that they've pretty much picked their candidate that they want to promote, the DNC. I don't think she has much of a chance, other than maybe South Carolina. She'll probably win South Carolina, but I think the rest of the country, they kind of see her as the buffoonish person that she is. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, the only reason she ran the last time is she didn't have to do any primary.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And when she was in the primaries the
Yeah.
first time, she only got like 1%
Yeah. I think it was
of
a little bit
any.
less than 1%.
Yeah, it was next to nothing, and she was one of the first ones to drop out because nobody wanted anything to do with her. Then what do? They take and make her vice president, and then go, oh, Joe is he's not with it. He's not doing well. The whole country saw, so now you're going to be the one running. What? She didn't have to do any primary. What kind of a?
Oh, I know. And in 2020, when Joe picked her, I mean, it was almost like you could have seen it from a mile away because he said he was going to pick a woman of color. Well, I mean, that kind of narrows down the pool quite a bit. I mean, of somebody who is interested in being vice president anyway. But that's DEI 101. So,
Yeah, that's not been working out for them. And now
un-
they're all going over to, oh, we're afraid of the DSA people. Well, we better be on their side, or well, we don't know what'll happen to us. Yeah, well, I can tell you what's going to happen to you. Ain't nobody winning crap.
if you don't grow a pair collectively, then
Yep.
they're going to run over you. It's
Oh,
going to happen.
with a
And
steamroller at high speed.
absolutely. We've got a story about that later on in the show, but there's a lot of political pundits, a lot of media people that, yeah, that Richard and I never hardly agree with, but they're coming out and going, this is not this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good at all.
Nope.
Um,
You want to get rid of all this kind of stuff and you don't know anything, you don't understand our Constitution, which we will have something for you
yeah,
in the next couple months or so. It should be done. It's going to be a project, and you can listen to it for yourself.
yeah, we've had some good feedback on the what was the last thing we did?
Declaration of Independence. We're
Declaration of
both just
Independence.
doing
Right.
just amazing today. I forgot to do the clock. I don't know. What do you have for a timer on your?
Oh, I'm at 1740, so we're
Oh, so
good.
I wasn't far off. I was guessing somewhere around 15 minutes. So we're good.
But anyway, yeah, we do have. We're going to have the Bill of Rights. We're going to have the Constitution. We're going to have because we, like I said, we had some great feedback on the Declaration of Independence,
Yeah.
and I think it turned out really well. Everybody said very nice things about it. We had a lot of views, so we're going to do more of that. It'll be kind of extra. We'll release it in the middle of the week, but it's going to be quite a project for us. So we'll.
Yeah, it's if you've ever gone and looked at the amendments, there's
Uh,
some of them that are 3 lines long, that's it, and then there are those that are 3 pages long.
Yeah, so we've already decided Richard's doing the one with 3 pages, and then I'm doing the short one just because I'm lazy and I don't want to do that. So, uh,
Oh, we enjoyed doing it the last time, so it looks like we're going to have to break it up into probably 4 sections. So
yeah,
that's kind of
probably
what we're looking at the moment
because there are
because
27 amendments. It's quite a bit. So
and some of those the 17 after the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments.
mhm.
Oh Lord, there's a couple in there that are 2 pages long. I'm not.
Uh,
It just goes on, and it's like, what in the?
but the first
So,
couple are really short. It's like
yeah.
you
Oh, this will
yeah.
be easy. Oh wait, what?
So that's to come. That's called a teaser for you in the biz. So anyway, that's our teaser for the day. The guy who wants to be senator from Texas, little guy named James Talirico, once said he was a vegan.
Manly James Talirico. I'm out here on the porch with my cowboy hat. Makes me manly walking through a.
Pawpaw. Me and my pawpaw, we love Jesus. We love ribs. Yeah,
Yeah, when did he stop being a vegan?
that
Are we sure he's eating actual meat ribs, or is he eating
might be that.
I want to be a meat rib?
Yeah, the Beyond Meat ribs or whatever. But yeah, he was once a vegan. Now he loves ribs and barbecue. He sounds like he's kind of confused on that one, but he talked about his
He's confused on
masculinity.
his buy stuff also.
Oh yeah. But he talks about his masculinity. I haven't seen any evidence of that, but but he calls himself a Christian pastor, and which is okay. But this is what he had to say in a recent interview.
And then the last one is maybe the most insidious. It was a new state curriculum that would teach Christian Bible stories as historical fact, as the only truth to our youngest students. And I mean kindergarten, first graders. These are kids who aren't able to think for themselves yet. They haven't formed their own world. Propaganda to push indoctrination on those youngest students is deeply immoral.
Propaganda. The Bible's
Blah, blah,
propaganda.
blah. Yeah, it's propaganda, and they're not able to think for themselves, but they can say, I'm a girl and I need to have
Oh,
that
sure.
part's okay. That
Just
they can
chop,
think for themselves on that.
chop your pieces parts off, and yeah, it's fine. If you're 13, we won't even tell your parents. Oy vey. What this is. We got to be living in end times. I'm going to leave it there, baby. We got to be because things are just absolutely crazy. And for this guy to get even one vote in the state of Texas blows my mind. But then again, we were talking off the air that places like Austin and Houston and even most of Dallas probably because it wasn't at Dallas that elected Jasmine Crockett and
Which, by the way, have you noticed? I ain't heard crap from her since she lost. It's like she don't really care anymore. I'm
yeah.
just here putting in. I may show up a couple times a month to vote until
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have any more of those long eyelashes that she puts on there, and she's afraid to go in public without them. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. She's been glaringly absent, and
you.
I haven't seen anything about her.
Boy, and AOC is backpedaling like nobody's business right now.
Oh yeah, I think did we play that last week where she said that she's part of the DSA New York chapter, but not the
Yeah,
national
not the
chapter.
national, and she's backing off of some other things. Well, I said that kind of stuff when I was younger. You mean a year ago?
She was
Really?
younger a year ago, but I mean,
And
yeah,
if she became president, you don't think the Green New Deal would come back immediately?
course. Just like just like with Biden, when we talked about that off the air. When Biden ran, he ran as a moderate. And as soon as he got in there, it's like the Green New Deal. We have MPG requirements for manufacturing of cars and the whole thing. It's like, and Trump, one thing that Trump has done too, and I think there's two is it two different car manufacturing plants that are being some of the biggest in the world that are going to get built. Toyota has decided to build the biggest manufacturing plant in the world in Texas, where my Tacoma was built in Mexico. They're going to close down that shop and move everything to Texas to avoid the tariffs, which is the idea.
Yeah.
Which was
Oh, I love it when a lefty comes on and there's something that Trump has done or whatever. Is this what you voted for?
yes,
Yes, that's what he ran on, and I know it's hard for you to believe, but when a politician makes promises, they can actually keep them.
and
Now, is he keeping all of
unfortunately,
them? There's some things that aren't working out, but that's not to say he's done trying.
well, some of this is a time bomb that you're not going to really see right away. It's
Yeah,
like, with the manufacturing capability of Toyota moving to America, we're not going to see that within 6 months. I mean, that's going to take some time to build that thing. And
yeah,
then
a
Tim
hundred and
Cook,
some odd thousand.
yeah, square foot.
It's almost like a quarter of a mile building,
It's almost as
square.
big as a Bucky's. I mean, it's really big.
Oh, you were talking about Biden running as a moderate. Same thing with Spanberger in
Oh,
Virginia, that they are regretting her, like, and their legislature is almost, you would swear you hear stuff coming out of it and you go,
uh,
was that California? No, it was Virginia. Some of the stupid things. I mean, just when you think, oh, they can't get any dumber. Oh no, they passed a law in California that only certain tires okay because the others grip the road too much, and they, by doing that, they use too much fuel that pollutes, and you can't have those kind of tires. What?
it's
They don't
insane.
roll as easily as, so now the People's Republic of Chinafornia has decided that you can only buy like three or four different makes of tires and that's it.
Of course, of course.
I wonder where the kickback's coming from on that one.
Yeah, it's got to be the manufacturer of BF Goodrich or somebody's. It's just like the COVID shot. It's like, we're promoting these two things, or the remdesivir, the manufacturer of the cure, which was no cure anyway, of COVID. It's like they pushed all this because there was investments made, handshake deals behind the closed doors thing. It's gotten to the point where, and you were mentioning Virginia. We were talking off the air about Nick Freitas, that used to be one of the state representatives in Virginia. He's had it. He's out. You said he's going to
Blaze TV, because he has such a humongous following and they said, we don't want you to change anything, which is smart. It's like, we want you to come here, but we want you to say things like this instead. No, they're just, what you do is what you do. That's why you have so many followers. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And Glenn Beck's great about that. That's one thing you can say about Glenn Beck, is that he's a hands-off approach. He lets people say whatever they want to say. You listen to Pat Gray, you listen to any of those guys. It's like they do their thing. Everybody's pretty much on the same page there anyway. But I mean, there's no requirements. You got, not like Fox News does. So
he just announced that last week. So this is something that's new. When he's going to start doing stuff, I don't remember when, but it was, okay, well, good for you. You're doing a good job of getting information out in a fun, albeit sarcastic manner.
It's funny
so
though.
true.
He really is.
I enjoy him. He's one that I bring up and see all the time. So
I see him all the time myself too. So anyway, lots of changes going on in the country. In Atlanta this past weekend, well, first of all, let's start off with this. There's a new athletic wear company out there called XXXY, if you've never heard of them. Their website is xx-xyathletics.com if you want to go check them out. The brand that makes items with messaging standing up for women's sports and biological reality is how their website puts it. I love this brand. It's a little pricey for my budget. T-shirts are like $50. But I love their attitude, and the people who are behind it are genuine. Riley Gaines is one of their spokespeople, and the whole thing, and they do great. I wholeheartedly support what they're doing. But this past weekend in Atlanta, and Richard sent me things giving me a hard time about Atlanta and the People's Republic of Atlanta.
Yes,
whatever you called it. Anyway, the Atlanta Dream, which is the WNBA team, and chances are you've never heard of them because it's WNBA. Anyway, they hosted the Indiana Fever, and that you've heard of them because that's the team that has Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark on it. But anyway, a mom and daughter spent $1,000 a ticket to support Sophie Cunningham, specifically to support her and for her common sense ideals, keeping biological men out of women's sports. And to do that, they were wearing the XXXY t-shirts. And they were interviewed as they left the building because they were kicked out of the building. And she'll explain why when in this interview.
We were made to cover up our XXXY shirts at this game.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes.
They gave us shirts.
They gave us T-shirts
I for mine.
during overtime and told us we had to leave.
And this says for the girl.
Or cover our shirts. This just happened.
Where were you sitting?
Floor
4-3 row.
C.
Yeah.
Third row of floor 3.
And how much were your seats?
$1,000 each around.
Yeah, and we did nothing. Like we were just sitting there. I didn't make signs. I wanted to make signs, but I didn't. I did nothing.
They made us put our shirts on.
I did notice during the game on the Jumbotron, they put up a woman wearing a shirt that said protect trans rights or something.
She was
She's
the one that
who
told
on
because she was made to zip up her jacket.
So she also had to zip up her jacket?
But I think that's
too. She shouldn't have to.
But they put her shirt on the Jumbotron.
I know.
It's almost like the message was made and they said now zip it up to make it seem like they're consistent.
Yeah.
But they never were.
Yeah.
No, never are.
And why did you spend so much on tickets? Why was it important for you to be here today?
To support Sophie Cunningham and to support women and women's sports because it's just common sense.
So you got to really pay attention because it's like they showed that woman with that T-shirt and they put it on the Jumbotron so everybody could see it. And then they asked her to cover it up. And then I believe the idea was, this is a manipulation thing. Then they told them to cover up because, hey, we got to be consistent.
Yeah, we got our message across. You don't get to get yours across. You're done. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's a big the gal that Sophie Cunningham. If you've seen the clip of it, I follow the WNBA a little bit because Caitlin Clark is just unbelievably amazing, the things that she does. But her and Sophie seem to have, they're very compatible, copacetic, kind of like we are sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes. We already have done it like twice today. It's like, I was thinking that too. Anyway, the gal that grabbed her around the head and slammed her down to the floor on her back, Dejanay, it starts with a C, and I can't remember it now.
I saw it once, and I don't remember.
Anyhow, 2 days after that happened, she had one sponsor for her. You know, the individual that sponsored her was Reebok, and they went, not anymore. Nope. Because she said, white privilege. And it's like, then I've seen a deal where it was, so for that, they said no. So she no longer has a sponsor, and she's whining about that. Yeah. And she came from privilege like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, did she really?
Oh, yes. Her father played in the NFL for quite some time. She always went to private schools, sent to, then went to Stanford and she's always had all the money and anything that she needed. So she's had nothing but privilege. And Sophie, she went to public schools, didn't have all that, went to a small college, was where she got a scholarship to do. What's that?
Most of us.
Yeah, like, you know, if you're going, it's like, yeah, ooh, I got a scholarship, and at the time wasn't a big school, but it was for theater. So I am on that person. Anyway, so talk about privilege. It sure as heck wasn't white privilege. That isn't Sophie. She has earned and worked her tail off and has very good common sense when she's talking about stuff.
It makes no sense. So you slam a girl to the ground and bloody her mouth and call it white privilege when all you did was get thrown out of the game? Anybody would have been thrown out of the game for that, I would think.
Oh, and she was suspended for one game.
Oh, you know, and why isn't anybody calling her out for the blonde wig and everything? Isn't she appropriating the culture of Sweden? I mean,
yeah, there you go.
It seems crazy.
The wife has mentioned something to that effect. Is like, oh, that's the one with the big fake hair. Yeah.
It seems weird to me, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. So anyhow, I wish I had it had the stats on where she came from and where Sophie come from, and so they were together. And I think I saved it somewhere. I don't know. I'd have to find it.
I wish you had sent that to me. That's
I don't know if I did or I didn't. It's one of those things where, oh yeah, she's the one that's privileged. It sure as hell wasn't Sophie. I can tell you that. But I don't know these other girls. Do they understand that she has a black belt in Taekwondo?
Apparently not.
I don't think I'd pick a fight with her. She might just clean your clock.
Yeah. But of course, our buddy Wesley Austin gave a great take on.
Oh, good, you got that one too.
I do. This great WNBA fiasco on trying to figure out what a woman is. Here's Wesley Austin.
Apparently, the WNBA is still workshopping what the W stands for. Two former NBA players declared for the WNBA draft, saying that they identify as women. So the WNBA held a meeting earlier this week to define the word woman. They couldn't do it. Apparently, it was such a difficult question that they're going to take another crack at it at the next meeting. Imagine failing a test where the answer is the title of the class. Like you're taking a geometry test. There's one question. What is the subject of the class? Come on! Eventually, somebody has to stand up and say, look, are we running a women's basketball league? Or are we trying to get people to watch basketball? Because we can't have both. So for now, I guess the W in WNBA stands for whatever.
Oh, we can't have both.
Oh, God.
I've never heard him get
We love Wesley Austin. He is just, he says it in a lovely, sarcastic way that is dead on what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had a 2-hour meeting and you still can't figure it out? What the?
Woman, WNBA, woman, yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I've seen so many people that don't know the difference between writing woman, AN, or women, EN
Oh,
on the end. They have
that,
they put the it's what are you? Did you
I
not get
blame
any English?
I blame
Oh,
social media. There's so many, and I'm really not that much of a English Nazi or anything, but it's like when I see people write, like it doesn't make any sense, and they put SCENTS. I'm like going, what, did you quit in third grade? What happened? I
did
mean,
you mean money with the wrong start, or did you mean?
did it smell funny? I mean, anyway,
Uh,
we're up against the break. When we come back, if you're watching us on YouTube or Rumble or on Spotify, we have a video for you. Will Kane from Fox News had a great little video that we're going to share with you. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Kendra Rains, and I love these two old guys. That's why I listen to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast. And you should too.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Garden Gnome Maker.
Mr. Garden Gnome Maker.
Anyone can dress up a yard with a shrub or some gladiolas, but it takes real guts to use a small, brightly colored ceramic man.
You're the man.
And what says, welcome to our home, like a dwarf in the hedges?
Standing tall.
Many a night you've slaved over a hot ceramic man maker, knowing somewhere there was a lonely pink flamingo or a cement frog who needed a buddy. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh master of miniatures, because as all Americans know, a home isn't a home without a gnome.
Take me home.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
oh Lord, I find them whimsical, but my wife says you're not putting one of those things in our yard. She wants nothing to do with them.
I like the flamingo. I think those are kind of neat, but I mean that's definitely a Miami thing. I mean, just about every single wide trailer in the Miami area has a flamingo in it. But
Yeah,
they just keep getting better.
Oh, it's gonna be sad to see him go. But we got a new replacement. Oh, they're gonna be
we only
just
have
about
one
as
left.
fun.
Next week is our last.
Oh,
Real
really?
Men of Genius. Yeah, and then we do have some more. When we called out our friend Martin from St. Louis, he sent us some new ones, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, but we've got a bunch of them. They'll make it through part of next year. I mean, we got plenty of them, and it's another ad promotion for a company that everybody's aware of, and you'll know it right away. And some of them are pretty funny. So yeah, I think you'll like it.
Shoot. Yeah, I had a friend that he had a neighbor in his area that had like 10 or 12 gnomes in their yard.
Mm.
And sometimes he'd go over there at night and rearrange them doing things.
Oh my gosh. Oh
and
my
they'd
God.
come out, I'll find who you are. This was before there was Ring and all that, but it was quite, he was very creative, and they were hilarious the way he'd move those gnomes around.
And I still haven't done this, but I saw somebody suggest this one time. The people who have, like, we have a wall in our hallway that's just filled up with our granddaughters and pictures of our son and daughter-in-law and us and our cats. I mean, we've got all kinds of pictures up. Mixed tiles is where I buy them. They're 8x8. There's a bunch of them. You can swap them out. Anyway, but somebody had a great idea that when you find somebody that has a place on their wall like that, you swap one of them out with like the leader of some country. Like the one I saw, they replaced it with Kim Jong-un and put it up there. And it was like, and they wanted to wait and see if anybody notices. It was like, it took them 3 months to notice.
Hey, how did this get here?
Where did that come from?
Where did Uncle Harry go? He was right there before.
He's not dead or anything. Why do we have him? Anyway, so that's a great idea. If you want to do that this Thanksgiving, it'd be a great way to bring the family together.
Oh, look, they've got a bunch of family. What the heck is
Kim Jong-un? Anyway,
you have to share screen for us, don't you?
I will. If you're watching us on YouTube, Rumble, or Spotify, we have a video from Fox News breaking down all the things that the DSA wants to do if they get into power, and how much it will actually cost. And so here.
And then I sent you another one that I think we'll use next week about a gentleman that where's the money going to come from, and all of that is only going to be once, and then after that. He does a very good job of explaining it. So
okay, good. Yeah, I like sharing the videos. I think they turn out good.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Let's start with that price tag. How do you get to $200 trillion over 10 years? The number is absolutely staggering, and it breaks down into categories. It breaks down into promises on the DSA's wish list. Let's start with universal health care. Over a 10-year period, that's estimated to cost as much as $75 trillion. But we don't stop there. There's been talk of reparations. Add another $28 trillion to the wish list. How about a federal jobs guarantee? That's $60 trillion, potentially at the high end over 10 years. Now, if you add this all up, including housing for all, which is another $17 trillion, then you get to a high estimate of $211 trillion over 10 years. Bringing up the question again, who pays? Now, the DSA, it has an answer. The rich, big corporations. So let's look at reality. This lays out the high end and the low end estimates of the DSA's wish list costs. Now, if you taxed over a 10-year period all corporate profits, so you zeroed out corporate profits over a 10-year period, you'd bring in about $35 trillion. If you taxed the wealthiest in America at a rate of 40%, you'd bring in another $500 billion. If you confiscated all of their wealth, well, you'd bring in about $6.6 trillion. But I want to go even further, because anybody on the left or a member of the DSA be saying, I don't want to stop at 40%. So let's go further. What if you did what America did in the mid-1950s and 60s, and you implemented a tax rate of over 90%? We would still then only bring in about $2 trillion over 10 years. So what the DSA's wish list, its empty promises run into, is the hard, cold reality of math. You add all that together and you come nowhere near. Forget the high estimate of $200 trillion, but the low estimate of $71 trillion. So where do you go for the money? They go where they always end up going for the money. To you, the middle class. And then, of course, it's what do we look like? What's the country look like? What size of government are we dealing with? Right now, our government spending amounts to about 40% of gross domestic product. All right, the DSA's wish list agenda on that low-end projection would take it to 57% of GDP. But the high-end projection of more than $200 trillion over 10 years means that government spending would be 92% of GDP. That is a lot of government. That is actually a fundamental rewriting of the American economy and a fundamental rewriting of America.
Yeah, I think that's part of our issue right there. I mean, they 200 trillion. I can't even imagine 71 trillion. And we're looking at how many trillion dollars in debt right now? 40? We're about 40 trillion.
We're pushing. I don't know that we've hit it yet. I haven't heard that, but we are waving real hard at it because you can see it from where we are.
No, it's just insane. But like you said, or like he said, it's not just the millionaires. I mean, it's not just the billionaires. I mean, they're going to have to go after us, because if their agenda is correct, and I think last week, it's like the whole idea is to go after the millionaires. Once there's no more millionaires, who's left? The middle class, because the lower class don't pay any taxes.
Well, they keep saying, "Oh, you've got to tax the rich," and how's that working out in either Seattle, New York, Illinois, Chicago area? It's not. They're running out of people. It's a free country. You can move and leave and go whenever you want. Well, they finally taxed them to the point where it's actually cheaper to pack up everything and move somewhere else than it is to stay there and give them almost everything you have. Plus, if you took all the billionaires that are in the United States, which would be somewhere around they're worth $6.6 trillion, and you took everything they had, take it all away, that will only run the government for about 8-9 months, maybe. Maybe. And the problem with that is you're not going to get the 6.6 trillion because you have their money is too many people think it's like Scrooge McDuck and they're diving in these big rooms full of money. It's all in stocks and stuff.
It's invested in things. Yeah.
And so what are they going to have to do? They're invested and they have stock from the companies that they own, that they've started, all that kind of stuff. Well, as soon as they start selling off billions of dollars worth of stock from their company, the price is going to do what? It's going to bottom out. You're not going to get anywhere near 6.6 trillion because people are going, what? They're selling all their stock. Oh, geez, I better sell too because it's, there's going to be a run on it. It won't be worth spit by the time the last person tries to get something out of it. So now not only are you going to take everything from the rich, you're not going to get as much as you think you're going to get because that's just a number that they're worth based upon how much stock that they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just keep talking that way because the normal folks go, yeah, tax the rich. Well, they are people who've worked their fanny off, who have sacrificed. You've got people like, I like using the example of Elon Musk. Oh, he doesn't pay any taxes. Really? He hires over 160,000 plus people that all pay taxes. And you're going to tell me that's not worth anything? Did you sleep in your office for 3 years, 4 years trying to get something off the ground and going? I don't think so.
And not only think that, if you forced all these billionaires to liquidate that money to where it is cash, that would collapse the economy. First of all, like I said, it would pull 70% of the money out of the stock market.
Yep.
I mean, because that's where a lot of it is, or the stock, or just in businesses they've
People's
helped.
retirement accounts would go in the toilet. Now they don't have money to spend. It would just be a domino effect where, and that's why everybody. I saw a thing on this yesterday where a gentleman going on campus and talking to students about, well, what do you think? Well, I don't think socialism's so bad. And then you see it go back and play, well, so since you're for socialism, so it would be like you are getting A's in class. Are you getting A's or high grades? Yeah, I'm getting high grades. So what we're going to do is take away some of your hard work for A, and we're going to give that to the people that are getting D's and F's in the bottom and bring everybody up so that they're equal. Well, I don't want to do that. I spent sleepless nights studying and doing. It's
You don't need a
different when it
4.0
affects.
to pass. You
Yeah.
can pass with a 3.0. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was all of a sudden, not with my stuff that I worked hard for. No.
I just looked up, according to usdebtclock.org, our national debt right now it's going up by like $100,000 every couple of seconds. I'm watching it right now. It's at 39,927 billion. So, just so you know, that's where that's at.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're waving at 40 trillion.
Yeah, it's real close. I mean, it can't be any more than a month away. But it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed that video, though. I thought that video was good. He really pointed it. I think with the visual effects, it made it more understandable.
Where you could see that, even at the lower rate, we're right now spending somewhere around 7 trillion a year, 7.5 trillion, something like that, on our expenditures. And then what they want each year, because you got 71, that's another 7 trillion on top of what's already being spent. There's no way you can't even get by year 2. Ain't going to happen.
And you can't print money fast enough. I mean, I know that's what they probably plan on doing as a backup plan. But I mean, look at the $6 trillion that was printed during COVID. I mean, it's been a disaster.
Well, and excuse me, you're going to be just like Venezuela and having cash in the dumps because it's not even worth making a notation on. It's worthless.
Yeah. And because of this DSA craziness, even the staunchest Democrats that we all know and love in the media and even politicians, have been speaking out against some of this stuff. Here's another great rant by the normally crazy lefty Joe Scarborough. I'm giving him props 2 weeks in a row. But he's pretty upset about the DSA takeover of the Democratic Party, and here's what he had to say.
I don't need people telling me, oh, you have to just turn a blind eye to people saying that women getting raped on October 7th didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. No, Americans aren't going to support that. This is not about me. This is about the Democrats, once again, fumbling the football on the 2-yard line when they have a chance to make great gains, but being so woke, I don't know if you want to call it woke 1, woke 2, or woke 3, but being too woke to call out the obvious. I swear to God. It's crazy that we're even having this conversation. If somebody says a woman being raped doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, it's okay to call that person out and demand that candidates distance themselves from those people. If you want to rule, over a party and win elections. If somebody says going to a rally the day after Hamas slaughters more Jews than any time since the Holocaust, it's okay for Chuck Schumer. It's okay for Hakeem Jeffries to call that despicable and demand that people distance themselves from that. That's okay. So why are we bringing this up now? We're bringing this up now because it seems an awful lot like what was happening in 2024 when Democrats couldn't get out of their own way to win an election they should have won.
I was afraid he was going to have a heart attack somewhere in there. He was
I've seen this. I watched it a couple times. And what's his wife's name? Mika,
yeah.
Something like that. She's just sitting there going, oh, Lord, he went off on one of those tangents and doing the wife thing where she's just sitting there. What's that?
She looked like she was agreeable.
But she wasn't going out of her way to do a lot of nodding and that. She was just kind of sitting there looking at her papers. And
he was wound up today.
When is this nutbag going to be over? Good Lord, he's going on and on.
Going to have to switch him to decaf. Get the decaf out.
Are they still married but working together? Are they divorced and working together?
No, I believe they're still married. I think they got married once they started the show together. I think that was, maybe I don't have that right, but it seems like they haven't been married that long.
Yeah,
he used to be a Republican.
I don't watch it, so I don't know. Because they're usually getting the shovel out, and I prefer not to get in the way of what's being thrown.
Yeah, exactly. Even the ex-governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who I rarely think that he has anything good to say, has come around at least a little bit. Here he was on Bill Maher.
Look, you have these moderates who are just afraid of the extreme left. They're just afraid.
They are.
And when they start with this, well, we're a big tent party.
No.
That is a lot of crap. Big tent party meant all races, color, creeds, we're open-minded. But a tent is a finite object. It didn't mean Nazi sympathizers, you're welcome. Anti-Semites, you're welcome. Abolish the police, close prisons, open borders, do away with the Constitution. That's not the Democratic tent. It's just not. But they are afraid, Bill, of the extremists. And they are placating them, and that is going to make the Tea Party of the Democratic Party, and that will make us a fringe party. We will defeat ourselves on this path.
This could be the equivalent of Ross Perot and how divided he made the Republican Party back then, and it could work out the same way.
Yeah, excellent analogy. That's just what it is, because these folks you start listening to, yep, you want to do this? Yep, that's what we want. And they're not even hiding it. No, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. Constitution is old. It's stupid. We're not going to have that.
Senate.
Okay, it's only lasted 250 years.
It's worked well until recently.
The Electoral College, got to get rid of that. And we'll have something on that before the elections as well, so that you understand why it's there. The idiots that keep saying we need to do away with it have no idea or understanding of why it was put in place, what the reasoning was, and again, it has worked for a long time.
That's a short one. Maybe we should do that next because we
Yeah,
are
maybe
on the
I
midterm.
like that idea because people need to understand why it's there, even though we're not going to have a presidential election. It's there, and they're trying to get rid of that too.
Yeah, because that will be the agenda if the Democrats get in power. That's going to be part of that agenda. Which yeah, I've heard so many people that speak out of ignorance now. I mean, and when I was younger, I didn't understand the Electoral College either, and I probably felt the same way. It's like, why in the world do we do this? It's like there's a good reason, and it was set up on purpose to be the way it is.
To
And
give all the states a voice, not just big ones that happen to have a lot of population, i.e., you would be the only ones that would count would be the East Coast, the West Coast, and Chicago in the middle.
yeah,
There might be
Chicago,
something from Texas is growing so big,
right,
but
maybe Houston, Austin. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
Yep, you're right.
Why
This
would you go
Abdul
anywhere else?
El Said, anyway, he's the Democratic Senate candidate up in Michigan. Michigan? Is that right? Michigan? Yeah, it's Michigan.
Yes.
He had said some edgy anti-Semitic things in the past and has aligned himself with this very anti-Jewish dude. If you've heard of him, his name is Hassan Piker. And he's related to somebody that, anyway, he's a hot mess. He's very anti-Semitic. He said many times himself, this Hassan Piker, that the U.S. deserved 9/11, which is mild compared to some of the other things he said, which I won't even say on the air.
Yeah, no.
El Sayed told the media that when he was asked about Piker's controversial standings, anyway, and this is what he had to say.
Abdul, are there any views that Hassan holds that you disavow while you're with him right now?
I'm not here to disavow people's views. I'm here to have a conversation about how to get money out of politics, put money back in pockets, and pass Medicare for all. That's the conversation that folks are here to listen to. This whole gotcha game, platform policing, cancel culture, I thought we were over it. I thought we lived through the whole discourse of should have gone on Rogan. And there's a lot that I would look at what Rogan said that I would disavow. And I'd still go on his show. And so I just think that we need to get over this if we're serious about winning elections.
He talks so fast. And he mispronounces what he does. He was the Medicare for all. I was like, I had to listen to that 2 or 3 times before I figured out what he was trying to say.
Well, and that's not going to work. Too many people go, well, Canada's got, do you want to know what Canada's socialized medicine is? You and I both have had a friend that he stayed on a gurney in the hallway for 2.5 days, almost 3 days, before there was a room available or someone to do something. He's just under a cover in the hallway of the hospital. And I had another friend that was 5 days in the hospital that had issues with a gallstone, and he was in just unbelievable pain. They finally had a room, put him in it, and then kept feeding him drugs to mitigate the pain. 5 days he was there before they even got around to getting to him, and that was an emergency. That's just ridiculous. And then you've got England, where now it's in trouble because of all the illegals that have come into their country and they're paying for. All of a sudden, you're running out of other people's money. You don't have it.
The system is overwhelmed, and you see that all through Europe. It's terrible.
It's one country of 30 million in Canada, and England's what, about 60 million, twice that big or something?
Most of that's London. London's like 15 million. So yeah.
So most of it's there, and it's not working. The bigger, now you're going to have to take those problems and make them worth 300 and almost 50 million people. It's not going to work, folks. You cannot tax people enough. In Canada, they pay over 60% of their income goes to the state for their free health care.
Now Denmark, I think they've done it correctly, but most countries have not followed their lead as far as the way they do it. They have a socialized medicine program, and it seems like it works pretty well. But they haven't had the influx of the immigrants like a lot of the countries do. But I that curly-haired girl that does the man on the street interviews, and I cannot think of her name off the top of my head.
I know who you're talking about, but no, I can't think of her name either. But she's
I heard
really
her
good.
say the other day. Now I don't know how true it is, but 100,000 people last year died in Canada waiting for care.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could have been if you go to the emergency room and you're dying of a heart attack or something, then, good luck, buddy. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work out.
I mean, give him morphine. Give him a little more of it. He might get addicted in the next week, but we can't get to him. It's going to be a week before we can even do anything with you.
Yeah.
And you're just hurting so bad you can't even take a breath. It hurts so bad. And and then he said to me, he goes, I can't imagine how long a stay like that in the hospital would cost in the States, because you wouldn't be in the hospital for a week.
Exactly. Yeah, and the whole thing is just, Canada is just such a mess in every way, shape, or form.
And
I mean,
getting worse. I saw that Alberta's getting close to voting like in October on saying, see ya.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. Make it state number 51. I'm good. And that's where our friend lives, in Alberta.
Yeah.
And that's actually probably one of the best provinces, or best run provinces in Canada. And he still spent 5 days or was it 5 days in the hallway? 3 days?
He was in the hallway for 3, so he might have been in the hospital 4 or 5 anyway. But
It's just
good
unacceptable.
Lord.
Unacceptable.
Just wrong. Yeah, somebody called Alberta, what did they say? It was Texas North.
There you go. There you go.
They have a lot of resources, timber as well as tons of oil. And if you think Canada's economy's in a bind now, they leave, they're footing the bill for almost the entire rest of the country. They're going to crash so fast, it's not even funny.
They could be their own independent nation, which I would be okay with too. I mean, let's do that.
Whatever they want to do.
But consider this DSA stuff, and especially El Sayed, the Democratic Attorney General in Michigan, Dana Nessel, is pretty concerned about things. And this is something she said in an interview the other day. I had not heard this before. It's terrible.
That we keep that seat. But yeah, do I have some things I'd like to talk to you, Abdul, about? Certainly. I want to talk about some of the language that he uses on the campaign trail. And I also want to speak to him about some of the surrogates that he uses that, are concerning to some people.
So let me drill down on this if I can for a bit. And part of the reason we wanted to have this conversation with you is because you recently made the decision to skip the Michigan Democratic nominating convention. It'll happen this month. You said so due to safety concerns and anti-Semitic harassment. What specifically have you experienced, and what concern did you have about attending the Democratic Party nomination contest?
Well, look, myself and other Jewish electeds are subjected to a barrage of anti-Semitic threats. And that's been happening literally since my first day in office in 2019, long before October 7th. But in addition to that, what we've seen in the Democratic Party as of late in here in Michigan is that we're not seeing the same kind of civil discourse that we used to be able to have, and the ability to have a diversity of ideas and opinions that are, respected.
Is your party doing enough to address those concerns, Madam Attorney General?
Nope.
Yeah, I would say absolutely they're not. And I would just point to the example that we have 5 members of the Democratic Party who have been charged with anti-Semitic acts of violence, of vandalism and harassment and threats to other Democratic officials, some of whom are Jewish, and including an attack on the Jewish Federation of Detroit. So those people are still permitted to come to the convention. And it's just baffling to me that while these charges are pending, they're going to be allowed to be there despite, these credible charges against them.
This anti-Semitic view is really dug into the Democratic Party. I heard somebody talk the other day that they think Josh Shapiro would have been a good choice to be put on the in the Democratic ticket for 2028. And but they said the problem is that he's Jewish. He's the governor of Pennsylvania. I think it's Pennsylvania. It's either Pennsylvania or Ohio. One.
Don't remember, because
anyway,
Vivek Ramaswamy is running for governor in Ohio, so I don't know where that is at.
He's a smart, decent guy. I mean, he's got a little bit of common sense to him, and I think that he's very much a moderate. He would be a good choice for that. But because he's Jewish, they believe that he would not be accepted within the Democratic leadership or in the Democratic Party, he would not be able to get the nomination. It would be a waste of time and money.
Well, they kind of said that a little bit about Kennedy in the 60s. There's no way an Irish Catholic's it's just not gonna, well, it happened. So you never know. I wouldn't say it's not going to, I would say, right now the Democrats with the DSA running stuff, that is not gonna happen. They want to see them all gone. They still do. I don't care what they're not saying in public. It's been said a bunch.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And Scott Jennings sparred with former chair of the DNC and Al Gore's campaign manager, Donna Brazile, I think on CNN this past weekend. She tried to explain away this wackadoodle branch of the DNC, and it went pretty interestingly.
But as you know, I've been in this big tent party probably longer than most people, and I can tell you we're having the same kind of growing pains I saw on the Republican side, whether it was through the Tea Party in 2010, the activists who helped to bring about the MAGA movement.
And with all due respect to my friend Donna, there's nothing like, you can't draw any equivalence between the Tea Party movement and the socialists. For one, the Tea Party folks weren't trying to bring about the downfall of Western civilization and the United States of America. Abolish the police, abolish ICE, abolish borders, abolish the Senate, abolish the Constitution. There was nothing like this in the Republican Party. So it's an extreme political ideology that is gaining traction. The Democrat leadership has lost control. They know it. And people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Hong in Wisconsin, Abdul El Sayed in Michigan. You talk about the Big Tent. The Democrat Jewish Attorney General of Michigan cannot even go to her party's nominating convention because she says, I won't be safe there because of the supporters of Abdul El Sayed. You can't draw any equivalence between what happened in the Republican Party with the resurgence of patriot conservatives versus these anti-American radicals.
He's absolutely right. It's apples and oranges.
They keep trying to, that's one of their talking points now that has been, I'm sure, distributed to all of them. They keep bringing up, the Tea Party. No, it's not anything like the Tea Party. So, anyhow.
Yeah, no. We need a palate cleanser after all that.
Please, yes.
Oh, goodness. Here's another story of Americana from our West Texas Army vet and good friend, hopefully. Well, love to have him on the show. If we can find out how to get a hold of him. Anybody knows how to get a hold of Pappy G, let us know. We'd love to have him on the show for a minute because I just want to hear him talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a little bit of Americana for this week.
On the morning of September 8, 1900, Galveston, Texas was the fourth largest city in the state. A thriving port, a cultural center, a place of wealth, ambition, and promise. By the morning of September 9th, it was barely there at all. The hurricane that hit Galveston that night was, and still is, the deadliest natural disaster in American history. No one saw it coming with enough warning to matter. The storm surge swallowed the island whole. Waves 15 feet high rolled over a city that sat only 8 feet above sea level. Entire neighborhoods disappeared, churches, schools, homes, and hotels gone. When the sun come up, between 6,000 and 12,000 people were dead. The number was so staggering that nobody could count them precisely. The bodies were so numerous that burial was impossible. They were loaded onto barges and taken out to sea. The survivors walked through the city in silence. There was always nothing left. And then they did something extraordinary. They decided to stay. Not just to stay, but to make sure it could never happen again. In one of the most audacious engineering projects in American history, the people of Galveston built a seawall 17 feet high along the entire Gulf shoreline. And then, because a seawall alone wasn't enough, they raised the grade of the entire island. Every building that still stood was lifted on jacks. Millions of cubic yards of sand were pumped in from the ocean floor and packed underneath the city until the island itself sat higher than it ever had before. They raised their city with their bare hands. When a major hurricane hit Galveston again in 1915, just 15 years later, the seawall held, the city held, and the people held. That seawall still stands today. Galveston didn't just rebuild after the worst disaster America had ever seen. It looked the Gulf of Mexico dead in the eye and said, "Not again." The Galveston seawall still stands today, just like the people who built it. Happy 250th, America.
We were just there last year before last. We were down in Houston visiting my brother-in-law, and we went to Galveston and ate lunch at a restaurant right on the beach, and it's a beautiful area. Galveston's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, did you hear that the federal government came in and rescued them? No, that's not what took place, was it? It was the American way of doing stuff. Get out there and get it done instead of, oh, government's got to save us. Government's got to save us. There was a thing many years ago that they got snowed in the Denver kind of area, and was just snow like unbelievable snowmageddon that occurred. What took place in the small town, and that was people out shoveling each other out, helping each other, making sure you had stuff. Did the federal government come in and do anything? FEMA? No, they didn't do it. But these people that are in these uber lefty areas, which Denver's gotten to be, and when something happens, oh, the government's got to come and do it. Just like the other day, I saw somebody post this whole big thing about Trump's got to just take his ego and get rid of it and get out here and take care of these fires that are happening in Oregon. Well, how about you stop some of your lefty loonies that have been starting the fires, and they've been catching a bunch of them. Yeah, there's more than one. There's been several. So what is he supposed to do? And when you have dry lightning, is that his fault? It happens out here.
Yeah.
So it's bad enough having that, let alone people that go, "Ooh, flames, so nice." Oh.
Well, you were mentioning that place in Denver when all that happened, and I was reminded, and I can't remember the name of the town off the top of my head, begins with a J, in Missouri, where they got hit by that tornado, wiped out the whole Joplin. Yeah, it wiped out the whole city. And what did the city do? They didn't sit back and go, "Where's my check?" Everybody really, I've seen a couple of specials on this. It's absolutely fascinating to see the resolve of especially Midwesterners and Southerners. It seems like there is a resolve in these people that we don't care about what the federal government can do for us. We don't sit back and wait. Most of us, we do for ourselves. I don't want any intervention. When I was going through a couple of times through my cancer thing, my wife kept telling me, it's like, we got people that had said they would mow your grass for you. And it's like, that just grinds my gears to ask somebody to do something that I can, I was out there mowing my grass, and it took me a couple of times to get through everything because it's like I would get out of breath or I would just get tired. But I did it myself.
Neither one of us are very good about asking for help from someone. I'm happy to go help others. It's things that you do for neighbors and helping. And I've had the country help when I had a couple cows get out. Somebody shushed them and put them in a pen for me, and I got them the next morning. They didn't have to do that. I gave them a little feed and watered them. They're good today. Okay. They didn't have to do that. That's just what you do out in the country stuff, and people don't understand that anymore. They can be living I heard somebody talk the other day, living in a neighborhood, and they can't even tell you what their neighbors' names were, and they're right next door.
Yeah, I'm a little bit in that category because I really don't. I've got friends already, and I've got a small group of friends that I have. I'm not really interested in getting more. So
someday I hope to be one of those. Oh, please, please, please.
You're getting closer. Every week we get a little bit closer. Anyway, we hope you were somewhat informed and had fun like we did. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Smart Speaker, Rumble, or wherever you get those little podcasts.
And if that's too difficult, please just go ahead and put in our good old website, but you have to say this when you do it: stayoffmylawn.us for all our past and present episodes.
And we stay off my lawn. .us. And Hey, we'll see you next week, folks.
Toodles, and thanks again for telling a friend. We're just really enjoying and flabbergasted to a degree with all the growth we've had. We can't thank you enough, folks. We'll see you again next week. Well, we had fun and hope you did too. The opinions heard here today are not those of anyone other than Mike and Richard. If it made you laugh or go, or even, then we've done our job. Sort of. Well, mostly anyway. And if we made you think about things in a common sense manner, we welcome you to the club. And if it didn't, then just stay off my lawn. See you next time.